My name is Nicole Hernandez. I am a first generation Colombian American filmmaker, and if there's only one thing I could do with this life, it would be to tell a genuine and authentic story that means so much to me and people like me. That is why I'm here to present Encrucijada. Encrucijada is a story that follows our protagonist Sol Gonzalez, a teenager on the brink of 18, born and raised in Queens, New York by her traditional immigrant mother and her chronically ill grandmother. Admitted to a private high school on the Upper East Side of Manhattan through a highly gifted program, surrounded by peers who come from a wildly different socioeconomic background, Sol faces challenges that are felt by many like her in this country: an overwhelming sense of guilt, identity conflicts, and a burning desire to succeed at all costs. Sol's decision to throw herself an 18th birthday party with the help of her best friend Maya sets the stage for a transformative coming-of-age journey where she attempts to navigate two seemingly diametrically opposed worlds. I know I can relate to this experience, and it's comforting to know that I'm not alone.
So I am first generation, not only to go to college in my family, but also to be raised and born here in the US.
I am a Salvadorian first generation student.
I'm a first generation student.
My mom immigrated to the Los Angeles area when she was around 2 years old from Mexico.
But when it came to income, I think that's something that we really struggled with. My dad just wanted to provide us with as much as he could.
All they care about is providing the best life for their children, that we have food on the table, we have a roof over our heads. In their eyes, when they were growing up, that was success to them.
At least in my case and with my experience of having immigrant parents, having an education is such a privilege.
So I put a lot of expectations on myself because I knew that my family had never graduated college.
The pressure put on me was from myself, to outdo my parents, and I had it hardwired into my head that I just needed to do more because they did more than they expected. I just feel like that's something I'll forever be guilty about.
And I remember my best friend turns to me and she was like, "It's okay, your mom's the exception." It's so messed up. And I didn't realize it was messed up until years later, and it haunts me to this day.
There is that feeling of guilt to have all these opportunities that a lot of people may not get. My grandma could not go to school because she had to make their BS and sell it.
My mom was not able to just be sit there and be intellectually curious, She had to be a translator. And then my grandmother, she stopped going to school when she was in 6th grade. But it's my family has never been this close to power, but I'm the one who gets to do it. So it's a little bit of guilt of just I wish my family didn't have to struggle, and I wish my family had these opportunities.
Coming to this country, not knowing any English, and learning what he could, he really values education, and that's something he was never able to achieve. So I do feel guilty when I talk about school, and you have to be so grateful for that. You have to be so grateful that you get to go to that class, because I never was able to do that, and I am grateful about it. But it's almost sometimes I feel very guilty that maybe I'm not grateful enough.
The cultural disconnect that can happen from doing things your parents have never done before.
Culture shock was something that I definitely expected when I went to this school, but something that I didn't and completely took me by surprise was the fact that there's a lot of kids there who don't have to worry about money.
Flippantly saying oh, I went here, I did this, my family's second home. I've never felt anybody who's ever wielded their wealth negatively, but you don't have to be mean about being wealthy for me as a low-income student to still feel it.
There's a lot of customs that you don't think about. I didn't know that you had to put your napkin on your lap. I didn't know how to drink a glass of wine. I was okay, should I hold it from the cup? I felt if I asked people what does this mean, that I'd get a kind of look.
I was among a lot of people that didn't look like me. I would stare at myself for the longest time in the mirror and think about little things to change. Oh, I want to dye my hair, and of course I wanted to dye it blonde. I wanted my eyes to be green or blue. I didn't want to tan in the summer, and then I realized I was just I just want to be a white person.
I did not want to be Mexican. It was really bad. It was to the point where I would put baby powder on my face.
So it was always this back and forth of not really feeling like I fit in anywhere.
This comparison, everyone does this. You compare yourself to people constantly, and that's what I did.
I'm honestly really proud and really, really happy to finally see people who are listening to our stories and doing something about it.
I've always been thankful for filmmakers who listen to people like myself and my family, who actually went out there and did something to represent us despite any challenges or insecurities that they may have faced. This film is about capturing a complex and nuanced slice of life moment that many people with our kind of background experience, all as a testament to how hardworking and strong and capable we are. Please help me and our wonderful and dedicated cast and crew bring this film to life by donating. Some perks of donating include a special thanks in the credits, a shout out on social media, a signed film poster, and much, much more. Maybe even tax write-offs. You can also support our film by sharing our story with your friends and family, and by giving us a follow on Instagram so that you can stay up to date with everything that we have in store. Thanks for listening, and if this story resonated with you, well, that's all we could ever really hope for.